What's up, y'all? I want to accredit this video to Black Dot. I was very inspired watching his video called Decoding the Matrix of Hip Hop, The Chronicles of Hip Hop Part 1. I was very inspired, and I feel um, like, some of the things that he was touching on need to get re-brought back up to the surface, because it's very important to understand what time you guys may not realize that you're in, or the time that, you don't even know is taking place. But by now, it's like, um, if you don't know what time it is by now, then, these type of videos are just not for you, okay? So, do we really know the exact date and time that we are in? Or are we under the influence of a program written by someone else that keeps us on their timetable? If so, this only serves their agenda. We know who they is by now, okay, guys? How do we prepare for certain spiritual cosmic events that our ancestors foretold us about if we don't know the exact time the events were scheduled to take place? Meanwhile, those who know the time put themselves in position to receive the energy that was meant for us, okay? The majority or the masses are subjected to the lowest levels of time programming. A 9 to 5, our lives revolve around a job or career that actually takes far more time than 8 hours that it appears to. This is about your energy being involved in something that's not real, okay? So how do they pull the wool over the world's eyes, okay? The answer is misdirection, okay? Example, you know what I'm saying? They just mislead you and misdirect you into thinking one thing when it's really next. I mean, that it's very, it's crystal clear. Um, they do this, via forms of sports games, you know what I'm saying? New movies, new albums, new clothing lines that are coming out, new award shows. I mean, they pretty much, they don't change up they don't change their cycle. They keep the same thing going, which keeps you in a time loop, okay? This makes us time slaves, okay? Who will never be able to master our own destiny. Collectively, our dreams are never fulfilled because time will never allow it. And then we die, all right? So ultimately, time is the enemy, okay? Our true understanding of time can make it an ally. This is when time travel and time manipulation becomes possible, okay? Our mastery of time will mean one thing and one thing only. Time is up for the Matrix. All right, y'all? So let's try to understand light, real quick. Under the flesh, we are nothing more than spinning wheels of light. These spinning wheels of light are called chakras, okay? The more light we can activate from within ourselves, the more light we can process from outside ourselves. Melanated people can pick up a greater spectrum of rays, including gamma rays and cosmic rays, especially if the proper chakras are activated. The ultimate goal is to raise the energy from the root chakra to the crown, to the crown chakra, this will bring about the highest degree of illumination. Illumination means light, and light represents the truth because it allows one to see through the darkness. Okay? So, let's see. What we are trained, um, yeah, well, sorry, y'all. What we are trained to eat, drink, and think limits the awakening of the higher chakras. The chemtrails and the aluminum particles sprayed in the atmosphere, which is used to deflect the true light and energy from the sun, okay, gives off an illusion that we are being fed by the sun, and that takes care of the outer source of light, okay? The matrix must keep us suffering from light deprivation because it is the only way that they can really rule over us. Once the light is turned on, the illumination that is the matrix will be revealed. The greatest mystery that the matrix is trying to keep us from is that there is more than one color of light that emanates from the heaven that we could tap into. From the heavens that we can tap into. There are actually 3 colors of light: white, black, and clear. Okay? Most of us are familiar with the white light because it makes up the visible spectrum. Okay? What we see is what we tend to believe. And that's where the Matrix would like to keep us. They want to keep our focus, to what we are looking at with these 2 eyes. So they can stage events. And because you were there during a staged event, okay, that was nothing more than an act. It didn't look like an act to you because you're vibrating on the lower chakras, okay, which, keeps you not being able to realize what's real and what's not, okay? The black light represents the invisible spectrum or the unseen, okay? The 90% of the universe is invisible to us, okay? The colorless or the God light, which is the clear light, okay, also the most powerful, okay, is what makes up the black and the white light. This light is the most dangerous for the Matrix. If one can have mastery over the visible and the invisible, he or she will be able to truly see things clearly. Hence why the clear light is the most powerful, okay? The end result will surely mean lights out for the Matrix, okay? Our ancestors always taught, as above, so below. What's going on in the heavens is also taking place on earth or inside of your person, okay? There is always a microcosm to the macrocosm, okay? We must understand that the Matrix is designed to run the world, okay? And the same programs are used in the music industry, Hollywood, sports, etc. So what that's saying is the Matrix has programs that are also set up in those areas. The music industry, sports industry, acting, all of it, okay? How can a minority of the so-called elite control so many, okay? They gotta have programs running, okay? Example, religion, the education system, your 9-to-5 job, superstitions, Hollywood, etc. You know what I'm saying? The Matrix will stop at nothing to make sure every black male from the age of 8 to 40 years old dresses alike, thinks alike, acts alike, listens to the same music, and adheres to the same way of life. The Matrix will stop at nothing to ensure that every black female feels degraded, worthless, okay? And the black male is her primary enemy, okay? However, the conscious light beings are different. The mere fact that you have rejected the program that has turned 99% of our youths into drones means that you are an anomaly, okay? With the capacity to retain the strand of original DNA, okay? It means you still have access to your detailed files, the Akashic records, when the gods ruled, okay? It means that you are immune to every radio station, news station, newspaper, magazine, and video show that attempts to erase your memory or scramble up your DNA structure in an effort to close the gateway between your past and your future. It means that by the Matrix standards, you are the one. And with an activated pineal gland that can clearly see beyond the illusion that's in the Matrix or the construct, you are more dangerous than 1,000,000 of its agents. It also means that at this very moment, agents are coming to get you. And time is running out. Since time is an illusion, it's easy for the Matrix to use since time is an illusion, it's easy for the Matrix to use it to alter the perception and thought patterns of the youth who are 18 years and younger, because they have literally been birthed into the construct, okay? The divide between the Matrix and the anomaly, or Zion, must be kept because the illuminated ones know the truth, okay? That the uninitiated and the unilluminated ones are nothing more than slaves. And the sole purpose of your existence is to keep this version of the Matrix alive, okay? So make no mistake about it. It doesn't matter if it's your brother, your sister, your homegirl, your homeboy, your mother, your father, your husband, or your wife. If they are not unplugged and armed with a fully activated pineal gland, then they are your enemy. Okay? Examples of agents' missions, okay? To kill your credibility regarding anything outside of the Matrix's programs. So if anybody is talking anything spiritual or anything, paranormal, or anything that doesn't sound like the norm, okay, you're always going to have an agent that's going to try to, come on your page or try to discredit you, or whatever the case may be, try to make you look like you're crazy, okay? Matrix agents try to kill you with products like alcohol, which is one of the leading causes of death of Black and Latino people in the hood. Okay, to kill you with cigarettes that cause cancer, to kill you with meat and dairy products that destroy the body, to kill you with hip hop music tones that distract you from universal tones. Okay, to drain all of your resources so that you become totally dependent on your oppressor, and to spiritually kill you with religion. Okay, the government doesn't need to control millions. They need to control one that has control over millions. Okay, but don't blame them. Your compliance with the program makes you an agent of your own demise. This is the art of war. These agents will stop at nothing to strategically corner and destroy their enemies in all walks of life. So we are their enemy, okay? The ones who can see, but who are grossly outnumbered by the masses or the agents, okay? We are keeping, the ones who can see, but who are grossly outnumbered by the masses, who are keeping the Matrix going, okay? So the masses are the ones that are keeping the Matrix going, okay? So we are their enemy because we are the ones that are trying to take that shit down, okay? Those who are not from the God realm, okay, know and understand that they are on borrowed time, okay? They are trained to recognize signs that serve as a forewarning of their demise, okay? The writing is on the wall, and the devil's time to rule is over, all right? So they had to shut down this vortex of energy before it was too late, before too many of the sleepwalkers emerged from the dead. Who were the sleepwalkers? All of us at one point. You know what I'm saying? So they were trying to shut down these vortexes before any of us woke up, okay? Before, a mass number of people woke up in this new Yuga cycle, okay? Only those who have been trained with the first eye or the third eye can truly decipher the language that is really being spoken, okay? If you have a trained first eye or third eye, if you have a trained first eye, okay, that means that, you've been initiated, okay, from the school, from ancient times, okay, reincarnated to understand the true language of light, okay? So what we need to understand is that a lot of us are a manifestation or a reincarnation of ancient deities, okay? That's what they don't That's what they don't want us to, because they don't want us to turn into our own deity. That's what we used to be. And if we're calling ourselves gods and goddesses, then we need to understand what that means, okay? We need to understand that we're generating our own electricity, okay, through the photon belt, okay? We need to understand that. We need to understand that we are nothing new under the sun, okay? So we would definitely be turning back into what we originally were when we wanted to experience a human form of being a god or a goddess, okay? So that's what that means, okay? The hieroglyph symbols and images are nothing more than frozen sounds that have been formed as sacred words spoken by the supreme consciousness, okay? You are automatically in tune with the universe via the melanin in your body, linking up with the harmonious sounds emanating from your speakers, okay? The mind was able to ride the sound waves into a different dimension of time and space for a short period of time before returning to the earthly realm. Music calms the savage beast, but awakens the beast within us by igniting our Kundalini energy. In ancient times, it was the drummer who possessed the power to induce trance-like states amongst the faithful, okay, at what was called sacred spiritual ceremonies, okay? So to quickly answer the questions from the beginning is, what is a photon belt, okay? In the beginning, I asked, do we know what time we're in? So we're going to quickly answer those questions, okay? So we are in a time where Earth is passing through what is called scientifically a photon belt. What is a photon belt? The photon belt is a spiral formation that our galaxy passes through, okay, as it goes around its orbits of the galactic center, okay? So inside of your body, these things are taking place. Looking outside of your body is a holographic, play of what the cosmos is actually doing. So we're in a literal Star Wars, okay? It is also known as the photon band, okay? Earth will enter this band for 2,000 years, creating a spiritual advancement known as the quickening, okay? It is felt roughly every 24 to 26,000 years. The number 24,000 is very close to the number 25,920 years. The cycle leading many to believe that the Yuga cycle and the precession of the equinoxes are the same. They are, in fact, not the same, okay? Metaphor for the precession of the equinoxes can be thought of as the musical scale in its totality, where the Yuga cycles are the song played within that scale. It is the harmonic intervals and specific notes that mark important events and shifts in the cycle. Yuga cycle and the precessionary cycle are linked, okay? These are two interlocking cycles that move together as one, though they are not the same. The precessional cycle is approximately 25,920 years with 12 ages, which would be the 12 signs of the zodiac, of 2,160 years each. These precessional ages are the ages of the zodiac, which I said. The precessionary cycle is a plotted waveform. The harmonic points, such as the musical fifth, which would mark the key points of creation, destruction, and transformation in the Yuga cycle. What is the Yuga cycle? A yuga cycle is a cyclic age in Hindu cosmology. The 4 ages in the Hindu cosmology is the Sat Yuga cycle, which would be equivalent to the Golden Ages. They have a Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. And we just left out of the Kali Yuga, which was the Dark Ages, okay? What is a photon? A photon is a particle of light described as a discrete bundle or quantum of electromagnetic or light energy, okay? We have completed a full circle, okay, and are back at the beginning. So we need to understand that we are back at the beginning, which is very important while we need to be listening to our elders right now, okay? Example, Bobby Hemmett. Example, Phil Valentine. We need to go back to our older elders and listen to some of the older lectures, because, you know, when something resets itself, it starts from the beginning. So the older the lecture, you know, you're going to get a lot of useful information in that, okay? We're going back to the beginning, and that's why they prepared us, you know what I'm saying, for this time. Those older lectures were actually talking about this time, okay? So it's very important to go back to those, okay? Earth enters first into the photon belt. The sky will appear to be on fire, but be assured this is cold light, so there will be no heat. If the sun enters in first, there will be immediate darkness, which computed by our speed through space and will last 110 hours. The interaction between the solar radiation, okay, coming from your actual solar plexus and the photon belt will make the sky look as if it's full of falling stars. Excuse me. As the Earth enters this radiation belt, all molecules will become excited and all atoms will change. Things will become luminescent, okay? There will be constant light. So there are 3 types of people in our cosmos: corporeal, just solid humans, okay, and atmospherian, which is also solid, but the molecular structure is quite different. And the third is etherians, which have no mass at all. But now with the DNA upgrade, you better believe that they're gonna be way more types of people in the cosmos now because of the upgrade. Photon light is the highest form of energy that exists, okay? Our entire solar system will pass through the photonic belt. Photon means light, and light also carries information. Not only will humanity be able to see the mess to clean up here on Earth, but select humans will receive an energetic upgrade to the body's DNA via light frequencies of information. Now, I know that was a lot, okay? I know that was a lot, but I needed to get it, documented and, and on tape. So if we wanna take away key points, okay, we need to know that we are passing through what is called a photon belt, okay. We're passing through a photon belt or a photon band. It can also be called a Birkeland, Birkeland, a Birkeland current, okay? You guys need to get a pen and paper down because you can write down, key points and go back and study them, okay? Because I know that was a lot that I read out, but again, I had to get it on tape, okay? So we need to be studying the Birkeland current, the photon belt, what a photon is. We need to understand what the agendas are that are at play and how that may or may not affect you. We need to understand that until one has a fully activated pineal gland, they're not fully to be trusted. That's very important. Okay. We need to understand light. We need to understand the chakras. Okay. Yeah, we need to, we need to understand the yuga cycles. We need to understand the cycles of, understanding the cycles of time, the cycles of the ages is very important, because this is what will get people out of their egotistical mind frame that they have all this time to get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? If you understand the cycles that the ancestors left for us, then you would definitely be wanting to get your shit together, okay? Because you would then understand how critical and important this time actually is, okay? Last thing I'm gonna say is I really think that it's very important at this time that we are using some serious spiritual discernment with a lot of people that are, you know, online, or, you know, that are trying to sell you shit, you know, to get you spiritually right or any of that. I think it's very important that we definitely start looking and pay attention to, and, you know, even asking for some type of spiritual resume, you know what I'm saying, from some of these people, because, you know, it's turning into a shit show. You know, I'm seeing more egotistical spiritual people than I am balanced, you know, spiritual people. Everything is becoming, you know what I'm saying, like an infomercial. You know what I'm saying? What can I sell you today? You know what I'm saying? I think that that's very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And I think that unfortunately, people really don't know what to look for as far as credentials when it comes to, you know, when it comes to spirituality. You know what I'm saying? If we're dealing with somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's in their late 20s, or, you know, even early 30s, you know what I'm saying, and they're pretty much, you know, just getting into spirituality, or, you know, they've only been in it for a year or so, they can't really name any, you know, master teachers and all of that. You know, I'm not saying that they might not be gifted in what they're claiming that they're gifted in, but what I am saying is that, you know, there are spiritual initiations that one must go through, you know, in order to, you know, in order to be, in order for the gods to even okay such healings, you know what I'm saying, or to even okay certain lectures, or, you know what I'm saying, like there's a real, you know what I'm saying, there's just a lot of things going on in the spiritual community that I don't like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we're not paying homage, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, to the people that came before us. I'm noticing that a lot with the, you know, with the new age community, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of cockiness in there, you know what I'm saying, there's just a lot of cockiness in there that one might not be able to see if they don't know what they're looking for, you know what I'm saying. Stay away from the people who are claiming that they can heal you, you know what I'm saying, because clearly they don't have the full understanding that, you know, that right there will build one's ego, you know what I'm saying. If I'm a healer, you know what I'm saying, I would address that a different way, okay. I would address that like, you know what I'm saying, I am here to help you heal yourself, you know what I'm saying, because ultimately you are the only one that can heal yourself. You know, the healing can't even take place until you are, okay, in alignment with mind, body, and spirit, okay. Your healing will not go the way that, you know, your spiritual healer is going to tell you that it's going to go, that usually happens because of placebo effect. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you that I've healed you, you're going to believe me because of who and what you think I am. Okay? But you guys need to think about, has this person, you know what I'm saying, cleared all of their energy? Is there any trapped energy within their body that they have now transferred onto you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys really need to be doing your research on these people. You know what I'm saying? You have to know the right questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? You have to know, I mean, where'd you get your spiritual clearance from to even do these things? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they need to be teaching you, you know what I'm saying, that your consciousness has to be built up to a certain frequency in order for healing to even take place. You know what I'm saying? Your environment matters. You know what I'm saying? Some people are, you know what I'm saying, trapped in their own agony and in their own, in their own karmic thoughts because of their environment. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can't have a bunch of these Miss Cleos, you know what I'm saying, out here, saying that they're going to heal you and they're not putting all these things into perspective. Like, what are you eating? You know what I'm saying? Are you eating high vibrational, alkaline foods? You know what I'm saying? Have you, or are you willing and able to get out of your animalistic lower chakra ways? Is your heart pure? Are you coming for, there's a lot of things that need to be, discussed and talked about, okay? And you have the right, you know what I'm saying, as a soul to ask your spiritual advisor these type of questions, okay? I mean, because, everything that I'm seeing on social media, it's becoming like almost like a get rich quick thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be talking to people, you know what I'm saying, that have had spiritual clearance. They need to be, because here's the thing, like people like Bobby Hemmett and somebody who's not as, spiritually advanced as Bobby Hemmett. One thing that we should not be doing is downplaying anybody else who is so-called, the truth or the light. You know what I'm saying? Every deity had a role. You know what I'm saying? Every deity had a role that they played. You know what I'm saying? So if you understood where these people are coming from because you have experienced what they've experienced, then you're going to automatically know that they're the truth because you've experienced the same thing. And if you didn't experience the same thing, you came damn close to experiencing it. You know what I'm saying? So there will be no way that I would ever be able to talk shit about somebody, like Bobby Hemmett, because I have shared some of his same experiences. Okay? So discernment really needs to come in. It really needs to come in. You know what I'm saying? People shouldn't be stingy with their resources. Like, where are you getting the information from? Or, ask the question. You don't necessarily need, them to heal you. If they're selling you that, you want to know what the tools are so you can heal yourself, because this way it is making you do the work. It is making you tap into yourself, okay? Because by constantly thinking that somebody else has the power to heal you, that is no different than trusting in the government, trusting in your family westernized doctor, trusting in your pastor. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than that, okay? The goal is to raise yourself up, okay? You need self-confidence in that. You need somebody to tell you that this is your assignment. Just like Morpheus said to Neo, I can take you to the door, if I have that experience. I can lead you to the door, but ultimately you have to walk through it. You know what I'm saying? So, just keep in mind that, You know, there are a lot of people out there, and you have to be careful with the transferring of energy. They need to be able to tell you some real deep shit about the mind, about the body. You know what I'm saying? They need to understand how everything is connected. They need to understand the 7 circuits of the brain. Okay? If you want to know about that, tap into Dr. Pookrum. Okay? She breaks all of that down. And this is why it is very important for us not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We need to tap back in to older lectures, because the old technically is now the new, just remixed. It's kind of why, I chose that name. They call us old souls. Why? Everything, it's so that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand the connection between what they want to do and what you need to do. So y'all tap in.